Yeah, there we go. What is going on? It would probably help if I brought this a little bit more over here, right? All right, now we can get this show rolling. What is going on? You are checking out an all new the RCWR show coming at you guys for this Tuesday night of March 20th, 2018. How the hell y'all been, man? Gotta monitor myself a little bit better over here. We're bringing in all our audiences right now. We got them on Spreaker. We got them on Facebook. We got them on YouTube. Man, we all over the place, even live on the RCWR Show app. I am, of course, your host, the one and only Lee Sanders, and we've been doing this since 2011. That's right, talking about the very latest in wrestling, entertainment, and beyond. I'm so pumped. How about you guys? Is this week off to a fantastic start, or is it not off to a fantastic start? I mean, if you're over here on the East Coast, yeah, it's kind of like pandemonium right now because everybody's acting like, once again, it's the end of the world. Because even though today is officially the first day of spring, we are in this situation where we are being hit one last time by winter, and some parts are going to be feeling it with a vengeance. Now, over here in the DMV, we're supposedly, depending on where you reside, we could be getting anywhere between 5 and in some parts up to, believe it or not, up to 10 inches of snow. That's right, in the DMV. I know, right? And it's supposed to be the first day of spring. That's just freaking crazy when I hear that, man. But no, I mean, other than that, yeah, for the most part, it's pretty much been good over here. I do want to hear from you guys for the next little bit. I'm going to be live. Get at me a couple of ways. Like I said, we're live right now on YouTube. We're live right now on Spreaker. We're live right now on Facebook. We're even live exclusively on the RCWR Show app, which is available for free in the Google Play Store. Just use the keywords, the RCWR Show. Take your pick. Definitely a blockbuster episode we got planned for you guys. I want to get this out at the very top. I'll mention it one more time, maybe midway for sure. But we have a big special guest that's going to be dropping by a special edition of the RCWR show this week for you fans of the CW hit series Black Lightning. Black Lightning star himself, Cress Williams. He will be here on the RCWR show. I will be going one-on-one with him. It's going to be a really great conversation. I am eagerly anticipating it. I had put up a couple of notifications last week letting you all know that he was coming by the show and that if you all had any questions you wanted me to ask Cress, give them to me. I'm actually going to extend the deadline just a little bit. I've kind of gotten the same type of questions over and over again so far. It's just worded a little bit differently. So, I mean, if you ask me straight up, am I good as far as questions? I am. But for those that maybe did not hear about it, I did do my very best to let you all know about it throughout social media. But if there's a question you want me to ask Cress, you can definitely get at me. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can post a comment. Get at me all throughout social media on the Twitter, the Facebook, even the Instagram. I've been picking up on that. Get at me on all those outlets. If you maybe even want to send a voicemail message, you can do that as well. Just head on over to the Infinity One Productions website. But I am definitely looking forward to this great conversation. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be talking all things Black Lightning, all things pop culture, entertainment, and we just kind of highlighted the word awesome. We also are going to, of course, be talking about Awesome Con, as yours truly is going to be returning to cover the 3-day event as part of the press media for the second year in a row. I'm pumped, looking forward to that, man. I'm telling you, I'm just, I can't wait, man. Hey, look, before we go any further, on a personal note, because it's definitely something that literally happened in my backyard, and I'm like, wow, right now. If you were to tell me back when I was in junior high that, hey, in blah, blah, blah years from now, there's going to be this common theme where you can't really go to school without continuing to look over your shoulder because somebody is going to come up there with a gun and they're just going to be trigger freaking happy. So there possibly is going to be casualties. Everybody's just going to be all freaked out or whatnot. I would say to you, wait a minute. And that's going to happen in North America.
If you would have told me in junior high or in my high school years, or hell, even in my college years, that what we have been seeing within recent years is kind of borderline becoming the new norm, right? Put your kids on the school bus. Oh, hey, honey, have a good day at school. Make sure you eat your breakfast and lunch. And you go to school. Is that going to be like the last time you kiss that child goodbye or for the day, right? It's just mind blowing. But thoughts, prayers, definitely resolution to the events that had went down in Maryland. I want to say it was earlier today. I was watching the news and I was just shocked. I was appalled. And I agree with a lot of the sentiments that our Maryland governor, Larry Hogan, had said with regards to it. It's crazy. It's sad. It's disgusting. And I really agree. I saw some really good comments that was put out there on social media, but the one that really struck out at me the most was one by Vince Russo. And anybody that has followed Vince Russo has known for many years that he is a man of faith. He believes in God. And I really loved what he basically said. I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but in a nutshell, he basically said, what we need right now is the love of God. And we need that love to really help us find a way to finding meaningful, impactful solutions, because it's just really gotten too much out of hand. And for me personally, this isn't a situation where gun control, I know everybody wants to pick it apart. Everybody wants to go in so many different directions. Can we all just be in agreement? The stuff that's happening with the schools, it just needs to stop in general. It just does. Enough is enough already. It's time for action. It is seriously time for action. So my thoughts, my prayers, definitely resolution, because we really need this to be resolved already. This should have been resolved. Some would make the argument like 5 years ago. I mean, what is it going to take? What is it going to take for everybody to get on the same page and say, okay, let's work together? We need strong bipartisanship right now on so many levels. I need to see Democrats, Republicans, Independents, the Tea Party, the NRA. I need to see everybody just put their differences to the side and just think about the kids. Just think about the kids. Think about your kids. Just think about kids in North America in general. Because I tell you what, if this doesn't get nipped in the bud right now, these kids that are coming up, that are starting to come into power, and when I say they're starting to come into power, some of these kids are getting ready to have voting rights. If the changes are not addressed, trust me, the next time that there is an opportunity to vote and they are of age and they can vote, it's going to be a lot of people out. Going to be a lot of people out. You guys hear how one of the stars from Sex and the City on HBO, how they're now trying to become governor? I forgot in what state. And early reports are saying that the governor is most likely to win a second term, but I think it should still be pretty interesting, the amount of people that will turn out to vote for her, and if maybe she even has truly a chance at having some type of a political career. But that's what I wanted to say up front before we dive any further into the show. So, hey, man, look, we saw SmackDown literally go off the air a couple of minutes ago, and I got to tell you, I was just on cloud nine. All right, so I'm anticipating the snow because it's supposed to be a lot, but whatever. When you're in the DMV, you just kind of go, yeah, I hear you talking. We're really not going to get that much. Y'all are tripping for nothing, whatever. But hey, this was a rare occasion where I actually was low on bread. I didn't have any milk. So I said, you know what? All right. Called up the missus. I said, hey, can we go to the store? I got to run some errands anyway. So we're out and about, and I'm riding shotgun, and I'm just scrolling through the news, and I screamed my behind off. I was like, yes, and shocked the hell out of her. We damn near almost went off to the side of the road because she's like, what happened? What's going on? You freaked me out there. What the hell's going on? I'm like, it's Daniel Bryan. According to WWE, Daniel Bryan, he's been medically cleared to return to in-ring action. And she's like, oh my God. I'm like, yes, holy crap. And then to realize that it's been 2 years now since we've seen Daniel Bryan in the ring. Man, how time flies. You know, when you just really stop and think about the little things, especially if you've been a long time WWE fan, you know, when you think about how it was just maybe 2011 that Mark Henry was doing the whole Hall of Pain, and he was just kicking ass left and right, became a world heavyweight champion. You're thinking about that run he had as a ECW champion, just all that in that time frame. And then you think about the great run that Daniel Bryan had. You also think about, for what it was worth, when Batista last came into the WWE. You think about all of these things that have come about over the years, and it still feels like in some cases in recent years, but you're just amazed at how the time flies. And in the case of Daniel Bryan last being in the ring, it's been 2 years now. I was happy, and my level of happiness compared to everybody else's is on a different level. Now, there actually may be some people that will agree with me from the standpoint I'm about to bring up, but my happiness that Daniel Bryan has been cleared by the WWE to return to in-ring action, for me personally, I am happy for Daniel Bryan. That is what I am absolutely most happiest for the most. Longtime listeners know I have been very consistent on this show since Daniel Bryan had put the reports out there initially that the way it was looking, he was done. And yes, we understand that based on everything that was accumulated at that time that led up to Daniel Bryan making his announcement, his retirement announcement. Yes, understandably, the information, the medical tests, and all that that was found at that point in time didn't really look good. And WWE, once they found out his history of concussions, they really did not want to take that chance and risk something very severe happening to him. They wanted him to be in a position where he can still enjoy being with his friends, being among family, having a really good life with Brie. Also, hey, you want to have children? Okay, well, you got to be able to continue to stand on your own 2 feet and physically be capable of playing with those kids, right? WWE, I felt, and I know a lot of people looked at them as the bad guys, but WWE just really, especially now that they are a public traded company and they answer to so many sponsors, so many affiliates, right? All that. There's a board. They got to answer to the board, all that. They're trying to make sure that they do everything right. So they're crossing all those X's off on that little checkbox, right? So it's understandable why WWE did what they did. And yes, we get it. Some time went by. Bryan's feeling a little bit better. Doesn't like the fact that he was told, no, this hobby, this passion, this love that you have for the sport known as professional wrestling, you know, you can't do it. But to have someone like his wife, like I'm sure close friends, close family members say to him, hey, man, don't give up. If this is something that you really want to do, keep on at it. And I said to you guys, it sucks if Daniel Bryan never wrestles again. I just want him to be at peace. I want for him to enjoy this second lease on life, if you will, which is basically putting the in-ring action behind him and enjoying the fruits of his labor, the fruits of all of his hard work that he laid down. Premature, yes, but still he's in a position where, I mean, no doubt about it, man was able to make a good amount of money when he came into the WWE, right on to that great run that he had. Yeah. So for me, I was more so concerned about Daniel Bryan's health. I'm still, as it stands right now, as happy as I am for Daniel Bryan that he's now in a position where he's clear to return to in-ring action. I'm happy for him, but I still have the concerns. Okay. And I think that's a fair thing to say. I think for many of us, we're feeling that same way. And it was really just cool kicking back, just seeing what everybody was saying in forums and on social media when the news had first broke out. You had so many people that were very excited, and it was a bit divided. You had And when I say divided, I'm not saying there was negativity, but you had people that legitimately were happy for Daniel because they knew he fought so hard for so long to get cleared. But then you had those that were happy from the standpoint, okay, I get to see Daniel Bryan again. I saw out of, you want to say maybe 100%, I probably saw maybe about 2% of folks that said comments like, he should not be getting into the ring whatsoever. Man, I really don't want to see him in there. And that's totally understandable, because I think if you were to really probe, these individuals would say, I'm concerned that he could just take one serious blow to the head, and that could possibly be it. There's no telling what could happen, right? And that's totally understandable. But I would like to believe, and I said this on the show, and it's so funny because all you got to do is just hop on YouTube and you can type in Daniel Bryan, the RCWR show, and you can see all the clips of what I've talked about with regards to Daniel Bryan for at least the past 8 months alone. And I had laid it out how you could get to this point of Daniel Bryan returning to in-ring action. And I really started increasing that theory, I would have to say, within the past 3 months, because we kind of saw something a little bit back and forth that was happening with Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. I actually, if you really stop and think about it, something's been kind of brewing with them for almost 6 months, give or take. So it's really, really been picking up. And, now we're at this point where we're at right now. And I truly believe, just following up on what I've been saying about Daniel Bryan, and it's a topic that many listeners have asked me, many fans of the show have asked me from time to time, which is, do I see Daniel Bryan coming back to the ring? And my answer tonight still stands as what I had said months, year or two ago, which is, if Daniel Bryan is to return to the ring, you can expect for him to have a much more smarter, grounded, very much a more mat-based oriented style of grappling when he does return to the ring. So I truly believe in my heart of hearts that with regards to flying headbutts, that's done. With regards to a situation where maybe a steel chair taken to the head, I don't see stuff like that happening. I do not see Daniel Bryan selling a DDT to anybody. I can see him executing a DDT, but as far as him being put in a DDT, him being put in a pile driver, anything that has some type of impact on head, I don't care how choreographed it is, accidents can happen. The sequence that we watched tonight that pretty much had closed out SmackDown, I must say, I was very shocked to see Daniel Bryan sell a super kick by Kevin Owens, because I thought that was, and I was paying very close attention to that. It was in real time. Obviously, Kevin's foot did not, nowhere near close. You could almost make a Botchamania clip out of it. Nowhere. And Daniel Bryan sold it perfectly. There's no telling how many times they did that move over and over again, getting it right, timing it just right. But then at the same time, what's also really cool about this, if you guys really stop and think about it, who better if Daniel Bryan, and at this point, the way it's looking right now, and we talked about this, we highlighted this several weeks back, Daniel Bryan, Shane O'Mac, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Now it's looking as though all signs, without a doubt, is pointing in that direction. So who better to get in the ring with Daniel Bryan and do a really good job in protecting him than his best friends, people that he has worked alongside in various companies, but big bulk of that ROH. But like you saw on SmackDown, these guys go back at least over 15 years. So who better than your friends to make sure that you are all right in your match? It's no different than when Shawn Michaels had made that infamous return at SummerSlam. What was the year, you guys? Help me out. I'm a little bit rusty when it comes to my years. I want to say 2003. Sometimes I want to say 2002, but there's a part of me that's just screaming 2003, Lee, 2003, when Shawn Michaels had faced Triple H. and it was supposed to be just a one-off joint. I mean, when you really go back and look at that match, not only was it a fantastic match, the story that they had sold in the weeks leading up to them going one-on-one, but the way it was booked, the finish to it, and just everything about it was just a really great match, a really great rivalry overall. But when you go back with a fresher set of eyes and you look at how much of a good job Triple H did in taking care of Shawn, you're going, man, that okay, that's how you do it. And I got some people in the chat saying 2002. I don't know why I'm thinking 2003. Something tells me I got to go back. I'm pretty sure SummerSlam 2002 and 2003 I really had enjoyed, because there were key things that had happened for both of those that I had enjoyed a lot. So I always get the year mixed up, but I'm hearing 2002 right now. If anybody wants to challenge Austin, feel free to challenge him. But assuming that Austin actually looked it up and it's 2002, thank you, Austin, for that. I appreciate that. But, you know, for me, it's awesome. It's awesome that Daniel Bryan is going to be back in the ring. And I like what I see in the, yeah, that's, you see what I'm saying, though? See, new thing that we're doing for those of you that maybe are not able to check out the web stream right now on YouTube and Facebook, we now have this really cool thing where people that's going to be watching the YouTube stream on demand, they're now going to be able to see the conversation that I'm having with folks in the chat in real time as it comes about. So we got some really great conversations that's coming about. So for those of you that's going to be checking out the YouTube stream on demand, make sure you check out the chats here and feel free to interact. But I see some of the same concerns that I had just talked about with regards to Daniel Bryan, which is chair shots in the head aren't legal anymore anyway. I'm with you. But for me personally, I just feel that without a shadow of doubt, as far as any type of impact towards the head, they're going to do their best to really dodge the hell out of that for Daniel Bryan. Trust me, it's going to be, mark my words, he is going to be wrestling a much more smarter, it's going to be very mat grounded oriented as far as his style of wrestling. I would totally be shocked if he continues to do those flying headbutts from the top turnbuckle. That just needs to be eliminated altogether. Suicide dives over the ropes need to be done with that, all that type of stuff. But I tell you, sometimes when I look at a situation like what we had got tonight with the announcement and then everything leading up to Daniel Bryan returning, do you think in retrospect, folks, maybe it was wrong that they had announced Daniel Bryan was going to be returning to in-ring action? I only asked that question because now that you've pretty much had Daniel Bryan be attacked by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, it leaves without a shadow of doubt that Daniel Bryan is going to be coming back and looking for some type of revenge. Right? It almost kind of comes off as if it's a no-brainer that Daniel Bryan is going to be returning to in-ring action. I mean, let's really break this down. You do all this hype, right? You do all this build-up, WWE, make this big announcement that Daniel Bryan's been cleared for in-ring action. And then you leave it up in the air as far as, well, we aren't exactly sure when he's going to be returning to the ring. It could happen at any time. It could happen at any moment, at any event. We just aren't really sure. So you're telling me with 19 going on 18 days to go until WrestleMania that you're not going to pull the trigger and have Daniel Bryan be involved in WrestleMania and get you one of, without a doubt, your biggest paydays within recent years? To have a blockbuster event where you've got your AJ Styles, you've got your Nakamura, you've got your Ronda Rousey, you've got Triple H, you're probably going to have Cena versus Taker. You're telling me you're not going to make Daniel Bryan be part of that equation? That just seems baffling to me. So all signs indicate that, okay, yes, this is what they're going to do. But I just couldn't help as I read the announcement and then seeing what I had saw tonight, I just kind of can't help but wonder if WWE was smart in the way that they had executed this, because just hypothetically speaking for the moment, let's just say this didn't happen. Let's just say the announcement did not come about with regards to Daniel Bryan from WWE earlier today, right? Let's just say that did not happen. Let's just say SmackDown aired like it normally did. What we got tonight, everything that we got tonight, and it pretty much had ended with Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens beating the holy hell out of Daniel Bryan. And now it's, well, man, what the hell? Don't you think that's a little bit more of a cliffhanger, so to speak, right? You let them beat the crap out of him, and then you really sell the idea of, and either way, you win with Cammy, right? Cammy. I can't believe I'm calling them Cam. I think that's so silly, but whatever. Okay. So either way, Cammy is coming out of there looking like rebels without a cause. They're doing what they want, when they want, where they want. Okay, so now you've got a situation where they've beat up two authority figures. What exactly is the end game here? Would it make sense that you let a week go by and maybe have Shane O'Mac come back, right? Pretty much after what went down with Daniel Bryan tonight, maybe you have Shane O'Mac come back, or a situation where there's a temporary SmackDown general manager, an intern basically, and he puts them. Who knows? Just the mess that you have right now, it brings up so many questions from a booking creative standpoint that you're trying to make sense out of. Well, what if they would have went in this direction? And I'm sorry, the more and more that I think about it, because I see some of you guys saying, no, Lee, this kind of makes a little bit of sense that they went in this direction, that they went on ahead and pulled the trigger now. And now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, and I'm seeing what some of you guys are saying in the chat, I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards you all, because after all, WrestleMania is now 19 days away. So you really don't have enough time to really tell the story. You want to get the buzz going, you want to get the pop going. And you know what? I'm glad we're talking this out, because what did I say here on this show? I got to be consistent now. What did I say here on this show off and on the past couple of weeks? I said, hey, man, Raw and SmackDown hasn't really been feeling like WrestleMania season. Where's the sizzle? Where's the pop? So now we finally get it. So it just wouldn't be fair for me. I'm not crapping on it. I just couldn't help but question if the timing was right. But now that you have what you have right now, I would suspect that going forward, there's going to be an intern SmackDown general manager / commissioner. So I can't help but wonder if maybe it's going to be a situation where temporarily Stephanie McMahon. It could be Stephanie. It could be Stephanie McMahon. I think storyline continuity wise, it would make a lot of sense. I mean, if it was me booking this story arc, what I actually would do is I would actually have, for 1 week only or whatever, I would have effective immediately. And you could do this on the WWE.com website pretty much tonight, or pretty much going into the next morning, which is, you could say that there was an emergency boardroom meeting, and basically the board didn't like the fact that the actions that were taken against Daniel Bryan tonight, and then follow that up with last week what went down with Shane McMahon, that the board is strongly recommending that effective immediately, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, they be fired from the WWE. And you could see a situation where, if it was me setting this up, I would actually have WWE put out a statement. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, call them dudes by their real name, right? Be like, we wish them the best in their future endeavors, whatever. Sell the hell out of it. Let them troll on social media, talk about no biggie. We can easily go back to ROH and we can get us a boatload of freaking money, or maybe we'll go to New Japan, whatever. But in the meantime, also in the same article, you can mention that the board is also pressing upon the chairman, Vince McMahon, to basically clean this mess up, to straighten this out, that it's basically gotten way too much out of hand, and that in the meantime, SmackDown needs an interim general manager and or commissioner until one or both of these men are able to come back and resume their duties. That's how you bring in Stephanie McMahon. So it makes sense for me to see a situation occur where Stephanie McMahon, she can pretty much just pop up on SmackDown, talk about how disgusted, how appalled she was, and what had went down with those guys attacking her brother. No matter what, no matter differences that they've had, no matter what beef that they've had, they're still brother and sister. Family is first, blood's thicker than water. And we could see a situation occur where basically she reveals that she talked with Vince, she talked with the board, and basically she wants to get those guys reinstated, because that's just not how the McMahons do things. They, that's not how they run business. Obviously these guys were spoiling for a fight. It's on at WrestleMania, and I'd like to see some type of a situation come about where I can just picture a really good segment between Stephanie and Cammy. I can see a really good segment playing out where maybe, just maybe, you can tease Kevin Owens possibly doing a power bomb to freaking Stephanie, and then maybe that would force Shane O'Mac to come out, beat the holy hell out of him. You could do a little bit of a freaking cliffhanger, let that ride out for one more week, as Shane pretty much talks about on the next week that it's going to be a tag team match. Boom, there you go. You're bringing your Daniel Bryan, and pretty much you got your 2-on-2 tag team match right there. Now, some people may feel that, well, Stephanie's kind of got her hands tied up a little bit right now, Lee, because she's got the whole Ronda Rousey thing going on. My backup plan for that, honestly, maybe you could actually have Corey Graves for the next couple of weeks be the interim SmackDown GM/commissioner. That would make a lot of sense as well. You could go in that direction too. So, or you could just go with Kurt Angle and let him do double duty until both of those guys are able to come back. But I'm loving what's coming about right now. It creates a very interesting atmosphere, especially for the Blue Brand. I mean, just in one night alone. And by the way, while we're still talking a little bit about Daniel Bryan, I think it was so freaking cool, by the way, that Daniel Bryan opens up SmackDown 15 minutes of just an emotional speech. And it was a speech, but when you really get down to the heart of the matter, it was more just kind of shooting from the hip, so to speak. But I tell you what, one of the things that I had loved that Daniel Bryan had said, and I actually want to read this to you guys for those of you that maybe did not see SmackDown. I just love the part where he says, and I quote, "When I was depressed and I was angry, and she," talking about Brie, "saw all I wanted to do is get back in the ring, she said, 'It's wonderful that you're grateful, but you need to fight. You need to fight for your dreams.'" And I tell you, Daniel Bryan, just watching that segment, had the entire crowd in Dallas, Texas, at that arena in the palm of his hands. And I tell you, there's only but a select few in the WWE that can command the fans like that, that can just grip the fans like that. Take your pick: a Daniel Bryan, a CM Punk, a freaking, for what it was worth, back in his time, John Cena. For what it was worth, before things just started going, John Cena sucks, let's go Cena, Cena sucks. There was a time everybody was just roaring the hell out of John Cena. Your Hulk Hogan's, your Dwayne The Rock Johnsons, your Stone Cold Steve Austins. You think about how the fans were just right there. There was just that instant connection. And to see Daniel Bryan in that 15-minute opener, the fans are just, they're quiet. There's no silly ass what chants. None of that silly crap. They are just right there, quiet, just right there in the palm of his hands. I tell you, that is a testament to the great body of work that Daniel Bryan has laid out in his almost 20 years being a in-ring performer. And I put the tweet out. I said, to those up and coming performers that's part of the WWE roster, just in general, look at that, analyze that, study the hell out of that, because what Daniel Bryan was able to do 15 minutes, and we hadn't seen anything like this basically in 2 years from Daniel Bryan, where he can just shoot from the hip, get that emotional. You look at all the guys that's currently on the roster. Man, I haven't seen the reaction that Daniel Bryan got tonight. I haven't seen anything like that pretty much since he was still active in the WWE. As far as who maybe comes a little bit close to that, you could kind of make the argument, well, maybe AJ Styles. You could kind of make the argument of just looking at the current roster. Yeah, AJ Styles really jumps out to my mind right now. Just AJ. I mean, consistently on the regular, AJ Styles. Now, some would say, well, what about Shinsuke? Shinsuke's actually died out. His has actually died out. So that's a testament. That is a testament. And to have the fans right there in the palm of your hands to deliver that passion. And I think it just really helps that the way WWE has always portrayed the Daniel Bryan character has been basically one of an underdog, one of a common everyday type of people that many people around the world can relate to. So I think we just factor in all of those freaking elements. You got a guy that has come a long way in cutting promos, because he didn't used to be a good talker. Let's be honest. And any long time Daniel Bryan fans will tell you that he wasn't known for his promos, but the guy has come along. I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays on out going into WrestleMania, man. But that was pretty much the main takeaway from tonight's SmackDown. From the moment that WWE had put out the statement, you're going, okay, what's up with Daniel Bryan? So that's awesome. Rewind it back. We had got Monday Night Raw. I mean, let's be honest. From Monday Night Raw, we all pretty much know what the main meat and potatoes was for that episode. It pretty much was, one, what's going on with John Cena, Undertaker? We got nothing yet. We get the big red monster Kane. Pretty much choke slams the hell out of John Cena. That pretty much sets up Kane versus Cena one-on-one on next week's Raw. Maybe after that, we're going to get some type of a answer from The Undertaker, hopefully, because at that point, we're going to be down to 14 days. There's still a big part of me that feels as though the match with Cena, Undertaker, I mean, look, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And see, this is the thing that I want to really stress, because we had this misconception that was basically put out there on social media by some folks, and I just want to make sure that we clear the air. I told you guys there's a big difference between what I personally would not want to see and what I hope will happen. And when you ask me the question, hey, what do you think about Cena versus Undertaker? Well, I say to you guys, well, hey, me personally, I really I do not want to see that. And I'll tell you why I don't want to see that. And I've pretty much been consistent with regards to why I wouldn't want to see anything like that. Now, that doesn't change the narrative. Now that it looks as though this match is going to be happening, it still doesn't change my narrative as far as, well, look, I hope that Undertaker for one night only is able to go in there and put on some type of a decent match to that of where he was physically at least 5 years ago, and then just ride off into the sunset. So I just really wanted to make sure that I stress that there's a big difference between what I personally would like to see and, okay, this is how things are probably going to end up. And for the most part, I always come at you guys with both of those perspectives. I tell you, hey, in my heart, this is what I would like to see, but my mind is telling me this is what we're going to get, though. So I just really want to make sure I stress that, because I don't know what it was, but there were some people on social media that was like, yeah, up in yours. Yeah, we're getting this match. And it's like, okay, so let me see if I got this straight. You're happy you're happy with the fact that you're right that we're gonna get a Cena versus Undertaker match. You're tripping more over you being right than a situation of, hey, as a wrestling fan, wrestling fans everywhere, we really shouldn't be seeing this match because Taker's pretty freaking beat up. What the hell? Yeah, and shout out to those of you, by the way, because I see how Epic had uploaded some of the clips, and there was a majority of fans that really appreciated what I said with regards to The Undertaker. They understood my position. They understood how much of a big fan I was of The Undertaker and how I personally I can't bear seeing him in the physical state that he's been in these past several years. So many fans agreed. Yeah, Lee, I'm with you, man. I mean, yeah, we're gonna get this match, but I'm with you. I'm not really feeling this. I'm hoping, like you, we're gonna get vintage Taker just one more time, and then yes, Lee, it needs to be done. There's no reason for him to keep doing this, right? So, I mean, all signs are indicating this match is gonna happen. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to hate this match, but I am going to go into this match with a bar set so low of expectations that I'm hoping it does exceed those expectations. But I would suspect that with 2 weeks to go until WrestleMania for next week, that we're going to get the challenge. Only question is, which Taker are we getting? It's like gotten so vocal that more and more fans want to see American Badass Undertaker. I personally, I'm hoping that comes about, but I got to give credit where credit is due, because one of the first people that went on record and said, hey man, I think we're probably going to get American Badass Undertaker, Rob Schamberger, WWE artist. He does all the cool portraits. You go on the WWE shop, you know his artwork when you see it. He was, and I need to credit him because I really did not see anybody else saying this all throughout social media. He was one of the first individuals to go on record and say, I think this is what's going to happen. Maybe these will be the circumstances. Now, he didn't go into the specifics on pretty much how we can get there, but he pretty much looked at when Undertaker pretty much took off his coat and his hat and all that at, last year's WrestleMania or whatnot. He pretty much looked at that as, okay, that version of The Undertaker is done. We're now, next time we get WrestleMania, we're probably most likely going to get American Badass. That was his preference. And the way it's looking right now, and he told me, he said, look, I didn't talk to anybody. I'm just telling you my 2 cents from a distance, what I personally would like to see happen. And some may say, no. He had to. I think that's just really a good educated guess. So all signs are indicating right now we're going to be getting American Badass Undertaker. I'm hoping we get that. I would love, actually straight up what I would like to see. I would like to see some type of a video package montage and then some type of a outfit combination that pays homage to the American Badass and the Phenom. I would like to see something. Do I want to see him on that motorcycle, though? One more time? Yeah, I would love to see him on the motorcycle. By the way, the stupid booking of Roman Reigns to pretty much open up Monday Night Raw. Yeah, I don't like coming on here and doing this, but it's another case of stupid booking one-on-one with yours truly. So this week, we have Kurt Angle pretty much talking about, hey, Brock Lesnar, yes, he's guaranteed to be here in attendance tonight. I'm told he will be here, but he's not here just yet, but he is on his way. We hope we'll get to have him before the show is over. Okay, great. This prompts Roman Reigns to come out as he is pretty much coming through the crowd, and he just casually crosses on over the wall barrier. Okay, so that's the first fuck up right there. Is where's the security? Normally, you have security that are just walking all back and forth or whatnot. So that's your first screw up right there. I think the minute that Kurt Angle had saw Roman Reigns, Kurt Angle should have been like, hey, security, detain that guy right there. Detain him. What are you guys doing? What do you got? Detain him. And then it could have been a situation where you could have just heard some inaudibles. Basically, Roman Reigns saying to Kurt Angle, I just want to come in the ring. I just want to talk for a couple of minutes, man. Let me come in the ring. Let me talk to you for a couple of minutes, man. And you could have easily had Kurt Angle say to Roman Reigns, okay, you know what, man? I remember when we did that tag team a couple of months back. Wait a minute. Actually, no, it was actually Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. That's right. So actually, let me back up a second. You could have actually had Kurt Angle say, hey, technically I was made a honorary member of the Shield. I got a lot of respect for Ambrose, Rollins, and you. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Come on in here, make your point. You could have cleaned it up that way. Let Roman Reigns say what he was going to say. And again, another solid promo, just pretty much rehashing. Where's Brock Lesnar? Hey, I showed up. Where's Brock Lesnar? This is the WWE champion. What the hell? All that was fine. But then when you have the U.S. Marshals come out, because pretty much he's trespassing, right? Okay. Here's the problem. Anybody that has watched an episode of Cops, anybody that has watched an episode of Live PD, I love me some Live PD on A&E. They screwed that up. Anybody that has watched either one of those shows knows they don't handcuff a person in front. They always, hey, hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. That's what they always say. They either say hands behind your back or they say hands behind your head and interlock your fingers. Okay. So that part they screwed up. Wasn't feeling that, because like, come on, man. It's like, do you need to read a fucking how to arrest people, how to put handcuffs on people one-on-one? Like, do you need to go in that direction? So that part was just silly. And then the other thing that was silly for me was seeing this situation where Roman Reigns is so mad, he's so upset that he attacks the U.S. Marshals. Now, I'm sorry, but you got that going down, right? And then you have the color commentators. They're actually, if I'm not mistaken, the color commentators were actually feeling sorry for Roman Reigns that this was happening to him. No, you shouldn't be feeling sorry for Roman Reigns because he put his hands on the U.S. Marshals. All right, so he's getting exactly what's coming to him, right? So let's really man up. He's trespassing. He has no business being in the arena, right? Per Vince McMahon, he's suspended. What did Vince McMahon say? He didn't say indefinitely. He just said for the time being, Roman Reigns is suspended. All right, so he's still getting his match at WrestleMania. Meantime, he just has no business being in the arena right now. All right, so you got the U.S. Marshals. They're doing their thing. And then you have the music of Brock Lesnar play. And you just have Roman Reigns standing there in the ring looking like slaughter for the kill. That I cringed. I fucking cringed seeing that shit, man. I didn't like it. It was just poorly booked. What I think should have went down. Show some type of a new element. Show some type of a new dirty tactic. Not necessarily from Brock Lesnar. You could have easily had it orchestrated by Paul Heyman. Honestly, what should have happened after they put the handcuffs on him the right way, mind you, they should have went on ahead, should have demanded that Brock Lesnar get on his knees, and they pretty much go about handcuffing him that way. And then afterwards, he's on his knees. They've handcuffed him from behind. They're holding him in place. Roman could have just been like, guys, I'm complying with you all. What the hell? I'm complying. What the hell? Why are we still here? Are we going to go? Maybe then you could have had Paul Heyman come on now with a microphone. Don't even play the music. Just have him come on out and just say, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. I am the advocate for the reigning, defending. You get the whole spiel. And then you have Brock Lesnar come on out. You could have had Roman Reigns try to get up, but the freaking U.S. Marshals, they're still holding him down. And you could have easily had Paul Heyman say after that, I tell you, give a few guys a couple of $100 and they'll do anything for you guys. Hey, fellas, thank y'all so much. Remember, you got to return those in about 3 hours. Okay. The rental's only for 3 hours. So make sure you guys go take those back. And Roman Reigns just could have flipped after that. Like, oh my God, this is a setup. These guys aren't U.S. Marshals. Then you could have had Roman Reigns beat the holy crap out of those guys. That's how you could have laid it out. But then by the time he focuses on trying to manhandle his way out of those U.S. wannabe Marshals, then you could have had Brock Lesnar come on in there, do what he did, and that's it. More stupider. Roman Reigns is on a gurney. And you've got the commentators feeling all sorry for his ass. Why are we feeling sorry for Roman Reigns? He trespassed. Okay? He would be no different than the guy that was at the WWE Performance Center stalking whoever, and he ended up getting shot by the freaking police. It would be no different than that. Okay? So, no, you shouldn't feel sorry if you have to restrain somebody physically or pop a cap in somebody. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So that alone was just stupid. I just didn't like it. It didn't go well with me. You ask me if that's really a case of stupid booking 101. I say to you, yes, on so many levels. I'm sorry. But look, when WWE is doing it right, I give them the praise. When they're doing it wrong, I'm on that ass. I'm still being as consistent. All right. So let's continue on. And for the record, going back to the whole Undertaker thing, I see Gino is saying, but Taker was at Raw 25 as the dead man Taker. No. For everybody that's a little bit confused about what I said earlier, I personally, for a WrestleMania grand entrance, I'm just talking about a video package and a presentation of the Undertaker where you're paying homage to the Phenom, you're paying homage to, the dead man, you're paying homage to American Badass. And as Taker comes out for this WrestleMania, basically you see something where, maybe he can still have the whole long black leather coat, but he's got the motorcycle now. You remember that era of American Badass where Taker was coming out with a bandana, black shades, leather trench coat, and he had the motorcycle? That's the kind of combination I'm talking about. So basically, if we kind of get that type of an Undertaker, that would be good. I see a question about Daniel Bryan. Guys, look, I'm only going to go as far as what comes about with WrestleMania. That's where my mind is right now. I think it's way too soon, and I want to make sure that we stress this, and I want to stress to Epic Sports, make this portion be a clip. I see a question from Mark Brown asking, Lee, since Daniel Bryan is finally cleared, do you think he'll go back to the title again? I guess he wants to know, do I see him going back into the title picture? Guys, I love you all tremendously. Can we just all be in agreement that with the news that we had got tonight for us Daniel Bryan fans, or earlier today, I should say, can we all just agree that we need to just relish in this moment as it stands right now? Because the way all things are looking, Daniel Bryan will be seeing in-ring action at this year's WrestleMania. So can we start with that? Can we start with that? And can moving forward, can we take it on a week to week, string up month to month to see how Daniel Bryan does? See how Daniel Bryan does with his smarter style of in-ring wrestling. See how Daniel Bryan fares, and making sure that no type of harm, no type of trauma comes to that head, right? Can we see that Daniel Bryan continues to just be physically in good condition going forward? All right, he's done a great job in staying in shape and all of that. But, the question I would more put out there is, if it is going to be a situation where Daniel Bryan goes back on the road, this is the other thing that you guys need to understand. Until Daniel Bryan proves otherwise, that he is more than deserving, I don't see a situation right now where Daniel Bryan is going to commit to a full-time schedule. I don't see that. At this point, I see Daniel Bryan basically like Shawn Michaels was that rodeo, that first rodeo. He would come in, he would work a couple of months, and then he'd be gone again. I'm seeing some type of a situation come down like that Okay. So, and I think that's the best way that WWE needs to do it with Daniel Bryan right now. Let him have a reduced schedule. But the talk about him being in the title picture, anything is possible, but let's just deal with the immediate right now. Best analogy, and I know I shouldn't be using an analogy, but I always pick on my girl when she does this. So, my girl is the type of person you could say to her, "Oh, hey, we've got this great vacation that's coming up in April. Oh my God, I'm looking so forward to it." And then she'll say, "Yeah, what would be really nice though is if we do that Caribbean trip in July. Oh, that would be fantastic. And hey, there's going to be a smooth jazz cruise that's going to be in November. Wait. Okay, you're jumping ahead. Wait. Those sound really good. But can we get through this one trip we got coming up in April? Can we figure out where we're going to be staying and all that other stuff with this first before we start thinking about those other ones?" And we usually have a chuckle because I tell her, because she knows it irritates me in a funny way. Because I say, "God damn it." I was like, just be one track minded. It's like, just one thing at a time, damn it. And we have a laugh afterwards. But no, that's my message to you guys. Anything is possible, but let's just relish in what we got that's going on right now. And just, honestly, let's just take it from there. Overall takeaway from the Matt Hardy Bray Wyatt Ultimate Deletion match. I get it, man. You had some people, and I was quite amazed. I was quite amazed that there was a good number of people that never once in their lives went out of their way to check out what Matt Hardy was doing in Impact Wrestling with the whole broken gimmick and the whole deletion and all that other type of stuff. And they were just bashing the hell out of this. And I just couldn't wrap my brain around it because I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. If you're a fan of pro wrestling, even if it's silly, even if it's stupid, you don't understand it, don't you think you owe it to yourself to at least gain the perspective and the knowledge of understanding why WWE is going in this direction? Try to understand what led up to this. Okay, this happened at another promotion apparently. Okay, well, let me go see what was going on over here so I can try to anticipate. Okay, well, you know what? It's not quite my cup of tea. It's pretty way out there, but if I had to compare it to what I saw online from the other promotion, okay, yeah, it seemed kind of good to rate it from that standpoint. But there were so many people that were crapping on this whole concept. They just, and what was really funny was seeing people that were supposedly they were supposedly editors. They were reporters for their own respected wrestling websites or whatever. So they're talking about all things wrestling and they're just bashing the hell out of this. It's one thing if you're bashing it because, oh, well, I didn't like XYZ. And by XYZ, it could be, hey, I didn't like the cutscenes, or hey, I thought that, this was kind of off. But to say it's stupid and you didn't understand it, right? That just comes off to me as though you're not really trying to think outside of the box. Because I mean, at the end of the day, wrestling is what we see in the ring. It's choreographed. The finishes have already been predetermined, but we allow ourselves to escape in that reality for that brief period of time, right? So why not kind of let the same rules apply with something such as the Ultimate Deletion match? I thought overall, and it's being reported that Michael P.S. Hayes was the one in charge of really orchestrating this, executing it properly, as well as, of course, input from Matt Hardy and family. But no matter who was behind this, I thought overall it was decent. I thought it lived up somewhat well, could have been a little bit better in some areas compared to what was going on in Impact Wrestling. One of the things that I felt going forward, I would like to see another one. If you ask me straight up, would I like to see WWE do this again? Yes, I would like to see them do this again. But one of the things that they need to learn from with what they did of this one, they need to not have as many cutaway scenes. It seemed like every 10 seconds, okay, new angle. All right, let's show this shot. It was just too much. You know, when you look at what was going on in Impact Wrestling, it was dramatically decreased and there was a much more smoother flow to it. I felt they did way too many cutaway scenes. One of the cutaway scenes that jump out in my mind right now is when Bray Wyatt was looking at the house with Sister Abigail or whatever, and they just kept cutting back and forth, showing the fire, all this other stuff. I just thought that was a bit excessive. That type of stuff in post-production. That's what I mean by there was just a little bit too much of that. Also, it didn't feel as wacky as what we got in Impact Wrestling. When I say wacky, there was a lot of ha-has. There's a lot of ha-ha moments, and oh my God, I can't believe I just watched that crap. What the hell? That was out there. I didn't really get that vibe from this one. I mean, whoopee-doo, you had the fireworks that were shooting from the ring. Okay, yeah, that's kind of nice. And then you had the situation where you had Matt Hardy saying, chair of wheels, lawn of mower. I love that. That gave me a nice hearty chuckle. I enjoyed that part. But there really wasn't anything extremely wacky and see, that's the thing. That's what made these type of matches at the Hardy compound so great in Impact Wrestling was a lot of times they would break that fourth wall, right? Some people call it the third wall, but they would break that fourth wall where basically they talk to the audience, right? One of the things that really jumps out to me the most, like you go back to what they did in Impact Wrestling. Remember that joint where you had Matt Hardy and Hurricane Shane Helms, and they were like, we buried more people than the man with the 3 H's. You know, when you're talking like that, you're breaking that wall. You know, we didn't get that. You know, and I would have loved to had seen that because I just felt that creatively, that's where Matt Hardy really, really thrives. So for me, you know, this just felt more like, come on to Universal Studios. It felt more like, you know, come on over to Walt Disneyland. We've got this new theme park we want you guys to try. The kids will love it. That's really how it came off. You know, it came off more backyardish. I think is the right word I'm looking for. It came off more backyardish than what we saw in Impact Wrestling. Now, again, there was things that they did right that I enjoyed, but going forward, they need to push the envelope of creativity. They need to go more freaking out there, more wacky, more crazy. But I would like to see another one from the WWE. We polled you guys, asked you all, what did you think of the Ultimate Deletion? And here's how it's looking on YouTube. Out of 54 votes, we have 4% of you that are telling WWE never do that again. Didn't get it. 4% of you that feel that way. 9% of you are staying in the middle. 6% of you gave it a thumbs down. You felt it was hot garbage. 26% of you felt that it was not as good as the TNA stuff, but had potential. And 56% of you gave it a thumbs up. You all felt that it lived up to the hype. Now, I did poll you guys on Twitter as well and asked you all, what did you think? And shout out to everybody that had voted on Twitter because it was our biggest turnout yet since we've been putting polls out there on certain WWE related items. And bear with me a second here as I pull this up. And as I'm pulling it up, I want to take this time to remind you, you're checking out the RCWR show for March 20th, 2018. If you're enjoying the show so far, make sure you give me that thumbs up. Click on the heart/like icons And if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe so you never miss out on all the great content do for you here on a weekly basis. All right, I'm looking at the polling results right now, and I am seeing, yeah, as it stands right now, we've got about 4 days left. We have over 460 votes. 9% of you are staying in the middle. 11% of you are giving it a thumbs down. 80% of you are giving it a thumbs up. I also had put a poll up on Facebook, and last I checked, I want to say it was about maybe 85% had gave it a thumbs up, and then there was, I don't know. Let me look at the Facebook real quick, because I actually had pinned it to the top. But you pretty much get the main consensus from folks. I mean, the majority of the fans, they actually liked it. And look, I know while we're talking about this, there was something that Michael Cole had said leading up to this match, and I definitely want to get to that in just a hot second here. But yeah, here we go. So on Facebook, we have, I love the gifts that I use for this one too. You guys got to check out the gifts I used on Facebook. It's hilarious. Actually, guys, how would you rate it? 82% of you gave it a thumbs up, and 18% of you gave it a thumbs down, felt it was crap. So, I mean, majority of the fans, they actually liked it. And I think when you probe a little bit more, they would probably agree with some of the things that I had said as far as what they could do better. You could definitely use some tweaks here and there. But yes, I think definitely they need to do it again. And also, it was the number one thing that was trending on freaking Twitter. And I tell you, I felt so happy for Matt Hardy because leading up to this match, we had Michael Cole. He actually had said to the fans, sorry for what you guys are about to see in advance. It's very obnoxious. He said something to that effect. And I'm sorry, but even if it's a situation where storyline wise, Michael Cole, he just doesn't get it. And Jonathan Coachman, he just doesn't get it. But you've got Corey Graves saying, oh, yeah, I totally am into this. I get this. That's because you guys have not been bestowed upon broken brilliance or woken brilliance. That's a tongue twister. I can see Corey Graves like really selling it. But to have Michael Cole say that, and to not have Jonathan Coachman or Corey Graves follow up with some type of a rebuttal and just be like, Cole, you're an idiot. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. It's obvious that you haven't talked to George Washington like Matt Hardy has. You know, when you have friends like George Washington and you're blessed with the 7 deities, you know, you have a really good way of looking at the entire world and being empowered or some jazz. So to have Michael Cole say that, I cringed. I cringed big time. It just felt so douchebaggish. And I couldn't help but kind of say to myself when I heard Michael Cole say that, okay, is that Vince McMahon maybe telling Michael Cole to say that? Or is this a case where Michael Cole's given a little bit of leadway at times and he can just pretty much shoot from the hip? Was this maybe Michael Cole saying a little something, just him putting his 2 cents down? Because you would like to believe that if Vince McMahon really had a problem with this, that he would have never given the green light. I mean, obviously, WWE had made a boatload of money with that one. You know, they made so much money and views off that one joint. It wasn't even funny. So I would like to believe that Vince McMahon, after he saw that, was going, God damn, I think we have something here that we can make a lot of fucking money off of. Matt, how you doing? I would like to believe that. So why would all of a sudden Vince McMahon go, hey, Cole, why don't you say to fans, sorry for... I don't get that. That makes no sense. So that almost kind of came off to me. I'm not really a betting man, but part of me is saying Cole was shooting from the hip just a little bit. I don't think McMahon or anybody else feed that into his headset. I think Cole just legitimately he doesn't understand it. He thinks it's silly, and that's kind of understandable. I mean, look, Cole has seen a lot of things since he's been part of the WWE corporation. You think about his background as a journalist and his definition of what pro wrestling is compared to what we got with the Ultimate Deletion. Yeah, I would not be that surprised if maybe honestly there was a part of freaking Michael Cole that I just don't get it. He could probably look at a guy like Bray Wyatt, Kane, Undertaker, and be like, I get it. It's very well possible though that with all this wackiness and silliness, that's how some would describe it. Hokey dokey stuff that's going on with Matt Hardy. Yeah, for some people, it's not everybody's cup of tea. But I love how Matt Hardy had came pretty much right back at Michael Cole because there was a really cool tweet that he had put out. He said right after Raw had ended, as it ended with that Ultimate Deletion match. And by the way, it turns out, and see, I need for WWE to do more of this. They're finally listening. I've been saying it on this show off and on the past couple of years now, which is give the fans in attendance a unique experience. Give them exclusive matches that folks aren't going to be able to watch at home. And for those that's watching at home, if there is some type of a production package that WWE wants for the fans to see, like, for example, the Ultimate Deletion match, do two separate viewing experiences. That way you don't have a situation where fans in attendance are trying to look at a goddamn Titantron for 20 something minutes or more. And I think they learned the hard way from what had went down with Raw 25 a while back. So I commend WWE for basically, I correct me if I'm wrong, guys, there was a situation where Dana Brooke got challenged by Ronda Rousey or whatever. And then you had some type of a tag match, if I'm not mistaken, because there was some of you guys that actually had went to the Raw event that had messaged me, and you basically had said, yeah, Lee, you know, this is what happened during Ultimate Deletion. This is what we saw as you guys were watching Ultimate Deletion. So, you know, for me personally, they got to keep that going. I've been saying that for years. Give the fans a unique experience. Oh, hey, did you guys see on TV? Blah, blah, blah. And it was nice seeing so many people say, oh, man, I didn't get to see the Ultimate Deletion match. You guys at home got to see it? Well, I recorded Raw, so I can't wait to see how it came about when I get home. That was like the main theme for a lot of people. And if you didn't record it, then WWE had your hookup because they had it all on their YouTube channel, which I thought was pretty cool. But I like what Matt Hardy had said after Raw went off the air. He said, and I quote, tonight was much more than just a professional victory on Raw. For me, it was an enormous personal victory. I couldn't have done it without you, my loyal Woken Warriors. Ultimate Deletion has been #1 worldwide trend for over an hour now. Thank you. Gracias. Mercy. So, yeah, that's great. And then he also had took a crack at freaking Michael Cole. I don't have the exact tweet that he put out on Michael Cole. I don't know if he called him an obsolete mule or some crap like that, but that was freaking hilarious. He got Michael Cole though. He carried him as well because there was a shot that he took at Cole as well. So honestly, I would like to believe that going forward, what went down Monday night has proven that there is without a doubt money that can be made off of Woken Matt Hardy. And I just feel that the best is yet to come. Everything just ties back to what I had said initially a while back. I told you guys, I said, look, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, House of Horrors. I told you all, longtime listeners know this. I said, that's a prelude of things to come. If it is embraced by a majority, then there's hope that a woken/broken Matt Hardy will do well in the WWE. And everything has just been leading up to this point. And now that it's gone over, I just hope that from here going forward, there's more creative freedom that can be put in there for Hardy, for sure get Jeremy Borash in there if he wasn't already involved in this one. But now you can really start having some fun now that it became an overnight sensation. And what's next for Bray Wyatt? I tell you what, if you got a problem with talent that's not getting over properly in the WWE, if their gimmick is wrong, or if you're just tired of seeing them on TV every single week, you want to give them a refresher, just put them in an Ultimate Deletion match with Matt Hardy. Problem solved. And I think it's just so badass that the struggles that has come about with one Bray Wyatt these past couple of years, everything has just been summed up so perfectly by having him literally be deleted from this past Monday. And I know a lot of people are going, Husky Harris is going to make a return. Husky Harris is going to make God, no. I honestly, I can't wait to see what's going to happen with Bray Wyatt. Is it going to be a situation where Bray Wyatt comes back as a good guy and he see, I'm thinking about Iron Fist. I've been binging on Iron Fist. Do you think maybe WWE will pull a page from Iron Fist and the dad? You guys that watch Iron Fist, you know what I'm talking about. The dad with the short blonde hair. I don't want to spoil it, but for those of you that know exactly what I'm talking about, do you think maybe they might go in that direction? And he comes back and all of a sudden he's now happy, but man, his assistant and the vanilla ice cream, that was some cold crap. That's all I gotta say. And I'm not talking about the ice cream. That was some cold crap. But okay, so is Bray Wyatt maybe gonna do something like that, but he's gonna come back all happy and I don't know, amnesia or something like that? What exactly is going to happen with the man? Is he going to come back clean shaven? Is he going to come back as the brother of Bo Dallas? Is his name going to be called Bray Dallas? What the hell's going to happen? I can't wait, but I just have a feeling that the way things are going right now, we're probably not going to be seeing Bray Wyatt again until maybe the night after WrestleMania. If I were a betting man, I think at this point, night after WrestleMania. So the Raw after WrestleMania, that's when we're probably going to see him pop up. I was saying pump up because I saw something in the chat here. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Looking at some more stuff in the chat here. Shout out to those of you checking out the stream live right now. Hey, of course, WWE, they cave to Snickers. They had changed the name of the Fabulous Moolah. Now it's just the women's WrestleMania women's battle royal or whatever, or flip that however you want to do it, but they aren't giving it any name after a female wrestler. They're just, hey, it's the WrestleMania women's battle royal match. Look, I've heard a few of my colleagues and I've listened to a few of my friends talk about this, and let me tell you something. Number one, I feel in my heart of hearts that WWE had did the right thing in changing the name, because ultimately, when it's all said and done, these guys have a responsibility to their sponsors. Okay, so anybody that might be offended, anybody that may not like the fact that WWE, they basically caved to what some would maybe consider, and hey, I get it. Some may say, hey, WWE caved to a very sensitive PG generation that we have up and about right now, because a majority are very sensitive, right? And I get that. I get that. But you know, you would have to believe that with regards to Stephanie McMahon, with regards to Vince McMahon, chances are they probably really did not know about all that shady crap that had went down with Fabulous Moolah back in the day. And I say that because you guys got to remember when Vince McMahon Jr. has started to do business with the Fabulous Moolah. Remember, he had paid her basically X amount of money for that women's belt, you know, bringing it on over into the WWE. And they've pretty much had really good experiences in doing business with her. And at this point, she's pretty old or whatever. And everything, just from the most part, everything's been on point. No problems. And then when they ushered in the whole Attitude Era, they found themselves in a position where they could do business with her again, and she delivered some really great moments along with Mae Young. And the times were just so different back then. When you look back on the 90s, 2000s, pretty much in your face, a bit raunchy, controversy creates cash. I remember somebody saying that a long time ago. They wrote a book about it, as a matter of fact. So you think about all of those things, and honestly, that's the thing. The beautiful, the beautiful technology that's now at our fingertips. Now more than ever, if we're trying to figure out something about somebody, we're trying to do a background check on somebody. Now more than ever, we have so much at our disposal that to a curious mind, oh, who is this person? I need to learn a little bit more about them and why this is being named after. And then they look it up and you go, oh my God, what the hell? That's freaking crazy. That's ridiculous. And people that have the audacity to try to keep bringing up China and say, oh, well, they can name it after, what this woman had did, and look at what's going. Look, you can't compare China and the whole naming of Fabulous Moolah. That is two completely different beasts. Can we all be in agreement that the reason why a China has not gone into the WWE yet, it's because most likely of one, Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon, for all it's worth, yes, she has her man. Yes, she's had X amount of kids by that man. Hey, any woman would probably feel very jealous and feel a certain way. If it's a situation where, why are you bringing up your ex? Don't bring her up. I don't really want to have. That is probably still a very sensitive subject, but you know what? I believe in my heart of hearts, we're now getting to that point where the kids, they're starting to become of age. They're going to get to that point where they're going to be looking at stuff online. And trust me, before they get to that point, mommy, daddy, how come China isn't in the WWE for all the work that she did for the company, everything that she did for the business? How come she's not in the WWE? They're going to have a tough time breaking that down to their kids. Let me tell you something. We have WrestleMania. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. WrestleMania, where's it coming to next year? Did they already make the announcement? I know they said something with regards to SummerSlam. I think SummerSlam is going to be coming back to the Barclays Center. But if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that WrestleMania is going to be at New Jersey again. Yeah, it's going to be at the MetLife Stadium again. I'm bringing that up because China she was born and raised in Rochester, New York. Yeah, I know it's kind of a little bit, but I'm kind of getting the impression that maybe, just maybe, that's where they're going to do it. I just have this feeling that, yeah, I mean, that's about as close as you can probably. I don't know. I'm just getting like this whole love for East Coast as far as the Hall of Fame for next year. I'm definitely feeling as though Bam Bam Bigelow is probably going to go in next year. I have this gut feeling that maybe China is going to get the nod next year as well. It's just a vibe I'm getting. Just call it a hunch. No sources or anything like that. My gut instincts is just telling me that's probably what's going to be happening. So now that the kids are really coming into play and everything, and trust me, everything that has come about with this moolah blowing up in WWE's face, I think here going forward, and this is what's so funny, this is what I find so baffling. We get Michael Cole sarcastically apologizing for this match, but no moment during the 3-hour broadcast do we get a situation where Michael Cole and the gang apologize to any fan that maybe had been offended by the Moolah name, the controversy surrounding it. And I guess for WWE, that's just a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much to be going in that direction, right? No, even more the reason why you should be embracing this. Isn't it Stephanie McMahon that's going to these women's expos and business conventions and everything and telling folks, oh, well, the WWE fan base, the WWE universe, we look at them as the ultimate consumers. We look at them as a focus group panel. We have these ideas and we play it out before them on TV or on the network or in other types of media as far as uh, downloadable music and movies and games. There are focus group panel. They let us know what they like, and we try to do our best to cater to them. So keeping that in mind, shouldn't this be more of a case where you recognize that and you give the WWE universe their props rather than, hey, you're hurting our bottom dollar? We understand where you guys are coming from, and trust us, we hear you, we understand, and yes, we care about quality, we care about that execution and quality. We want to make sure that there's no controversy. We're there, we hear you guys. Hey, this is our company, we founded it and everything, but you guys, you're our backbone, you're the heartbeat, you keep us going. We acknowledge that. You know, we appreciate you guys being so vocal, and you have no idea. Keep it up. This would have been a really good time from just a PR standpoint to really spin it, but I think so many feelings were just hurt. And I, without a doubt, no doubt for me, they probably felt very embarrassed by this blowing up in their face that they just said, okay, you know what, let's just quietly let's just be done. Let's move it along. I thought the statement that Stephanie McMahon had put out there, it was rather classy. It seemed a little bit vague, but for what it was worth, it was decent. You know, but I think fans everywhere, you know, fellow podcasters, everybody just needs to pat themselves on the back because I tell you, you had people that didn't know anything about Moolah, didn't know anything about the history, and looked it up and said, "Oh no, hell no, hell no." Moolah definitely way before my time. I have a RF video shoot that I want to say she did with Mae Young. I've yet to watch it. It's been on the back burner for a good minute now, a couple of years now, and definitely a little bit before my time. But I'm reading up on Mildred Burke, and you guys know I talked about Mildred Burke and how they should have named the event after her. And I said why. If you had missed that, you can actually check it out on Epic Sports. It's available on there. But you know, look, I'm fine with WWE changing it because at the end of the day, the last thing we need is a situation where come WrestleMania time, there are a lot of hostile fans in attendance that boo that match because of the name Moolah. That's the last thing we need. So I commend WWE for, okay, you know, they got us. Snickers is not satisfied. I'm sorry. I have not even been working on that all day or all week. I just, Snickers was not satisfied. Okay. Let's keep on going here, man. All right. A couple of more topics we can get into here. So Roman Reigns, he had did an interview recently and he had talked about how WWE is going to be doing this big old greatest Royal Rumble event. I don't know how many of you guys had heard about that, but I'm actually pretty excited for this. I can't wait to see how this comes about. It's scheduled for April in Saudi Arabia on the WWE network, and the event is a first part. It's like first installment of a 10-year partnership deal that they had did with Saudi General Sports Authority in support of Vision 2030. So looks like that event is going to be airing on Friday, the 27th. Again, Friday, the 27th, from the King Abdullah Sports City in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. So far, now the card is subject to change, but right now they're saying that Triple H, Roman Reigns, John Cena, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Braun Strowman, New Day, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bray Wyatt, they're all supposed to be there. Also, Undertaker, potentially Chris Jericho. But again, card is subject to change. I can't wait to see this. I'm not sure what time exactly it's going to be coming on Friday, but as soon as I know, I'm definitely making sure. I have a feeling that it's probably going to air in the morning. I'm not sure why, but I just have this vibe. It's going to air maybe at 2, 3, or 4 o'clock in the morning. Don't ask me why. I guess I'm kind of still going off of what we've been getting from New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I just wouldn't be surprised. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but when the Beast in the East special had aired, I remember that was early in the morning as well. That was kind of like late night morning, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I'm kind of getting that vibe, but I'm actually looking forward to checking that out. I got some Brian Christopher Grand Sexy. I got some Brian Christopher Grandmaster Sexy news for you guys. You guys hear about this? He got his ass beat big time by a wrestler by the name of Chase Stevens, real name Jonathan Clark. It had went down in Indiana back in February, but here's the thing. The information is just now surfacing, all right, due to the whole criminal database stuff and all, you know, the thingamajig, all that come about now. So basically, you've got this photo that's floating around of Grandmaster Sexy. He got his ass beat up by Chase Stevens. I mean, he's got a broken nose. He's having a fractured skull, broken orbital bone, some teeth knocked out. When you see the picture of this dude, he looks like BD Wong meets freaking young George Takai meets Wayne Newton after he just got a shitload of Botox and a facelift gone wrong. I mean, you don't even recognize Grandmaster Sexay. It's ridiculous. And this Chase Stevens dude, he was arrested and it looks as though no bond. He got no bond. All right. So I guess he's waiting for trial or whatever. Don't look good. Apparently, this fight had initially went down in Stevens' hotel room, and that's when the two of them got into it. Knocked out a couple of dudes' teeth. He did a serious number on him. And see, here's what really makes this really bad. Clark was a Golden Gloves boxing champion when he was a little bit younger. So sadly, when you have a situation where, okay, you were what? Those hands can now be looked upon as a deadly weapon equivalent to a gun. I BS you not. So this does not look good for him. He could be doing some serious jail time. So I'll continue to stay on top of that for you guys. But speedy recovery to Brian Christopher. Brian Christopher, aka Brian Lawler, the son of Jerry the King Lawler. That's just unfortunate that's happening to that man. And I couldn't wait to talk about this one. I've been looking forward to roasting this guy up all freaking week long. So, filmmaker Jon Bravo, or as I like to call him, Johnny Bravo. Hey there, pretty mama. How you doing? You want to go out for something late? Jon Bravo, man. Johnny Bravo, baby. I'm going to do you real good. Or hey there, little pretty mama. Want to get something to eat there? I'll tell you what, Johnny Bravo. Watch my new episodes on Cartoon Network. Jon Bravo, all this hype, all this talk about this video where he's going to implicate Roman Reigns. He's got the dirt. He's got the skinny. He's got it. He's bringing it. He's been teasing it. He's been teasing it. He's been teasing it. And you know what? He ain't got jack. I tell you. Okay, so let's recap. Here's the bullet points. Then I want to jump into this. So he finally releases this video about, oh, I'm going to implicate Roman Reigns. I've got it. I'm just cross-referencing. It's coming out. I'm going to drop it on a Friday. He just kept teasing the shit. Claimed that he was able to implicate Roman Reigns, 15 other current and former wrestlers as former customers of jailed steroids dealer Richard Rodriguez. Now, Rodriguez and his company, Wellness Fitness Nutrition, LLC, were accused of being involved in a distribution chain that imported goods from China, then manufactured illegal steroids in Arizona before distributing them out of the Miami area. No evidence was presented in this video about Reigns or any other current WWE superstars. Again, no evidence was presented in the video about Reigns or any other current WWE superstar. Key points. Bravo noted that he had Rodriguez's laptop in his possession that was released in a court hearing, which is one of his personal laptops that was used in February of 2016. There are 3 other phones and computers that have information up through February of 2017, but those are in possession of the DEA. Bravo said he is waiting for the release of those to conclude his investigation. With regards to Roman Reigns, Bravo said he is still waiting on evidence from those phones and laptops in the DEA's possession to be 110% accurate. Without that information, he said that he cannot verify Reigns, Mark Wahlberg, others that have placed orders supposedly through WFN, Wellness, Fitness, Nutrition. Bravo also said you have to prove someone is guilty without a reasonable doubt, and he doesn't have that right now for Reigns and Wahlberg. He claimed that he understands that Wahlberg made his communications through a doctor, but he doesn't have those communications. Okay, so now basically what you're putting out there is speculation. He said that Reigns placed his orders under an alias, but that it's impossible to cross-reference his orders without seeing the communication that Rodriguez had with him through text messages. So you shouldn't be bringing it up, right? WWE Hall of Famer Jesse the Body Ventura was featured in some Instagram posts regarding the video. Turns out Ventura had nothing to do whatsoever with WFN. Lawsuit, that's coming. Get ready for it. Johnny Bravo, get ready for it, because Jesse Ventura, former governor, one thing he knows how to do very well is sue a SOB. Defamation, miscategorizing, yeah, slander, yeah, he's coming for that ass. Also, what else we got that we can mention in here? One of the key players with WWE connection there is Rick Bassman. Bassman never worked for the WWE. He did train John Cena, but that was more than 20 years ago. Bassman also brought Sting, Ultimate Warrior into the business back in the 80s, but again, no actual connection was made between anyone and Bassman. Rodriguez said that his first contact with WWE was through Mark Bell and Chris Bell. He claimed that through them, Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and Steve Austin became advocates and clients of his product. Again, no evidence of Rodriguez communicating with any of these wrestlers, just with Chris Bell. Text from Chris was highlighted where he asked Rodriguez if he had a chance to speak with The Rock and John Cena in 2016. That was it. As far as only actual evidence presented in the video was of communications with Daniel Pruder, Bassman, Brudick, Chris Cavallini, who trains Jinder Mahal, and Sheamus. Rodriguez speculated that Jinder and Sheamus were using his products, which has yet to be confirmed. So, when it's all said and done, that would be no different than me doing an episode of the RCWR show right now and basically saying, according to my sources, John Cena is a homosexual. I have transcripts that I believe will prove that John Cena is homosexual, and he's been in the closet for 20 years now. I am going to do my very best to present that evidence to you over the course of the next couple of weeks, because I have incriminating evidence that would suggest so. So do subscribe to my channel and stay tuned, because I'm going to be bringing you nothing but the absolute truth. And I basically show up after weeks of anticipation, of hype, of buildup. I deliver a freaking video that basically shows John Cena with his arm around some guy at a club, around other people as they're posing for a picture, and that is supposed to be like my one piece of incriminating evidence. As I say, oh yeah, see this guy that John Cena has his arm around? Well, according to my sources, that's his gay partner. That's been his partner for the past 20 years. And I know I told you guys a couple of weeks ago that I had incriminating evidence that was gonna, but I haven't quite verified it all just yet. But according to my, no, you should not be putting it out there. I've been doing this damn show since 2011. I don't care. I don't care for being like some people when there's breaking news. Okay, gotta be the first. Gotta hop on YouTube. Gotta hop on Facebook. Gotta hop on, and I gotta talk about it, because what happens? Things just have a way of manifesting over the course of 24 hours, and then you get more and more information, and it gets to that point. Okay, these are the actual facts. These are the actual facts. What you heard Monday has drastically changed come Wednesday. Here's what we actually know. Here's the actual evidence. Here are the facts. And you can string all of these facts together to this as your main source, which is legit. It's out there, right? Okay. I don't want to be doing like, no, I want to be right when I'm talking about the stuff that's going down. Okay. Now, I can easily come on here, and I have in the past. Hey, my 2 cents from a distance. And I always say, hey, what I say don't make it 100% bulletproof right. Doesn't make it wrong either. It's just giving you guys something to think about. So for this guy to just go weeks after weeks after weeks, dude, do you not realize, unless you got a smoking gun, unless you got bulletproof evidence, man, what you doing is fucking slander. You're doing slander. You're doing slander. And on top of that, you are smearing somebody's brand. Because for guys like John Cena, Jesse the Body Ventura, Mark Wahlberg, their name is their brand. And they have an image to protect. And if you ain't got no smoking gun, if you don't have, without a shadow of doubt, 100% evidence, phone records, ping tower location showing, yeah, this is where they were when this had went down, blah blah blah. Hey, look, we've got the Yahoo or AOL chats or Facebook chats and the IP address. We can easily get a subpoena from Facebook or whatever, and it'll definitely ping back to this IP address that, without a shadow of doubt, it's tied to John Cena, it's tied to Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Man, if you ain't got no business to keep doing that. So look, I never put it out there to you guys. Only talked about Jon Bravo one other time, did I not? Only one other time did I talk about Jon Bravo. And I left the rest alone because I saw what this dude was doing. From a distance, it came off as if this man was doing nothing more than clickbait. He was trying to get that YouTube money, all that. That's all that was about. He was trying to get that name. He was trying to get that recognition out there, all that. And I even put it out there. I blasted my fellow colleagues that got their own wrestling websites, all that. Even my own personal friends / correspondents that I know. I put them on notice. I said, man, you guys giving this dude unnecessary press. He ain't proven jack shit. He ain't proven nothing. All right. And now this blew up in his face. It blew up in his face to the point he put out this sorry ass statement. Let's read this sorry ass statement by Jon Bravo, baby. Johnny Bravo here. He put out this sorry ass statement because fans were ripping him a new you know what. I'm sorry for a little bit of the profanity or whatever. I'm just worked up over this, okay? And when I'm worked up, I'm passionate because I don't like people like him. give my show and other shows that are trying to do it right, we are trying to look at things from all perspectives, they give us a bad rep as a result of a knucklehead like this that honestly is just in it to try to get his 15 minutes of fame. I smelled it from the beginning and I'm right. So this crap blows up in his face, and then everybody gets on him for all the piss poor editing that he did with this video. And he says this as follows, because now he's taking a break apparently from making YouTube videos and all that. And I quote, "I am a one-man team. I do this alone with no help. Not even a person reviews it but myself. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo. We get you a tissue." Yes, there are spelling errors. When you are rushed by thousands to make a video of this magnitude and this amount of time and work, there will always be errors. I am human. I'm only human, born to make mistakes. Human, born to make mistakes. I love that. That's an old time classic song right there. I might listen to that after I get off the air. I am a human. I guess he's cursing. Also, since no matter how many times or ways I say it, but there is evidence on Reigns, but without some key text to match the orders, I will not disclose it. Just wanted to tell everyone that I'm going to be taking some time away from YouTube to focus more on the WFN film and the other feature film opportunities that I have been given. I pour my heart and soul in these videos and feel that most do no understand. I think you're trying to say not understand what I am doing here. I was never a wave around your hand and film with a cell phone guy. I wanted to do something that was different. That was not everyone has the patience. What? Wait, what are you saying here, dude? I wanted to do something that was different that not everyone has the patience to do. Okay, I'm with you now. However, I learned that this generation doesn't really know what's involved in making these types of videos, and they want more instant gratification. I believe in quality and always will. As I have said many times in the past, I do not make money on YouTube and have only spent thousands on gear and countless hours of learning and editing to learn this craft. Saying all that, I appreciate everyone, even the people who hate. It's the people who hate that got me where I am to eat a rainbow of dicks. Get that out of here. Let's break this down. I'm about to blow this son of a bitch up. Okay, number one, since 2011, I myself have edited videos. Okay, I am not a beginner. I am not an expert. I am in between. I'm intermediate, basically. Okay. And this whole crap about doing video editing, anybody that remembers when I went to AwesomeCon from last year, you can see the videos that I had did. Okay, dude, don't even hit me with that shit. Okay, because from one video producer slash editor to another that constantly is working with clients on various video and audio projects on the side, that is the biggest load of crap I have ever heard in my entire freaking life. You want to talk about being a one-man team? For the most part, welcome to the real world, dipshit. Most people that do video editing are usually a one-man band, okay? Unless you're working for a little small production team of like 5 people or something like that. Okay, yeah, cool. That's that, but typically it's usually one person that is doing all of the video editing. I've seen your work. What you're doing is not anything special. It's not anything spectacular. And you want to talk about how you spend thousands of dollars on equipment? Man, if you spend thousands of dollars on freaking equipment, you's a goddamn fool. Okay, let me tell you something. My pop filter, $15. My light that I use for the show, my other lights that I get. This little bad boy, folks can't see it, but this little bad boy in my hand here, about 30, 40 bucks. All right. You get you a couple of freaking spiral compact fluorescent lights or whatever with some good brightness to it. You get you a really nice, pretty backdrop and all of that. You can have your video look as very well produced as much as humanly possible. Okay. Most phones that you have out nowadays are capable of recording such great high quality videos. It's not even funny. Okay. So let's just debunk that. Okay. You want to talk about the audio syncing next? I know a thing or two about audio syncing up to videos as well. Okay. It can be tedious. All you need is a can of soda, listen to some good music, and you're going to be able to hammer out what you need to hammer out in a couple of hours. And you can do it inexpensively. So if you spent thousands of dollars, don't, because I'm an expert when it comes to this. I've made it my business for all of these years to know what's the hottest equipment, what's the best equipment to use, and where you can get the biggest bang for your buck. So don't even try that. Let's debunk that right now. Okay? You're not making money off of your videos. If that's the truth, why is your shit monetized? Okay. If this is really about, hey, I'm just trying to get the word out, I'm just trying to spread it. Okay. I have nothing to gain from this. Dudes, dudettes, how many times have I come on here? Maybe when somebody dies or there is something tragic that comes about, and I say to you guys, hey, this video is not monetized. I'm not making any money off of this. I just wanted to share this with you guys. I just wanted to get you guys thoughts, get you guys interacting, get you guys talking. So tell me what you think, right? But his shit is monetized. So don't even come at me with that. Okay. If you see the little yellow blocks in the little video down below as you're watching the video, the shit's monetized. If a banner pops up, this shit monetizes. If there's an ad mid-break, this shit is monetized. So don't even come at me like that. Again, you're talking to somebody that knows a thing or two about studying the YouTube algorithm. I know that when you get anywhere from 50,000 views and up, you're making some decent money. You're making decent money. For each threshold that you reach, you get more of a high click percentage rate payout. So if you have a video that, let's say, is doing about 300,000 views, 8 out of 10, that video has probably made you about somewhere between 150 to maybe about $200. Come on, man. Just be honest. Just be honest. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with those that took the time out to watch your content. Be honest. You did this as a publicity stunt to put attention on yourself because you felt that you were a good-looking man. You felt that you were in good shape. You felt that you needed to be involved in maybe one of those new Marvel Netflix series or something, and you were trying to figure out a way to get your name and all that out there so that you can maybe get some projects to come your way. You wanted to get your 15 minutes of fame to become buzzworthy. That's what this is really all about. So let's take self-accountability. All right? Now, if you know, don't say, oh, well, I care about getting to the truth. And then say, I'm going to step away because no, you just proved that your heart was never really into this in the first place. All right. You want to talk about this generation? No, this generation smelled your bullshit and they called you on it. You don't like the fact that they're calling you out on it. And as a result of that, you're running with your tail tucked between your legs. That's the truth. That's how it's going down. So let's stop faking, man. I mean, I could cut up on this dude all day, but let me tell you something, Jon Bravo, if you really serious about, oh, you're just trying to get the word out about all these people, I do have evidence, and oh, I'm going to focus on the film. Here's my challenge to you. Here's my challenge to you. If you're really serious, won't you talk to your Rodriguez buddy and basically say, hey, look, any profits that we make off of this future documentary that we're going to be releasing to the public, 100% of all proceeds will go to the opioid crisis that we have going on, because we've lost so many celebrities, so many family members over these last 7 years alone because of the opioid crisis. It's not even funny. Okay? Why don't you put your money where your mouth is? Why don't you donate 100% profits to St. Jude's or some type of a worthable, traceable cause, since you're just so concerned about getting the message out there? That's my challenge to you. And if you're really serious about doing it like that, 100% proceeds going out, all right? Give me a holler. I'll help you out with video editing. You're spending thousands of dollars on equipment. I'll give you the info for free. You don't even need to give me any props. I'll talk to you for 10 minutes and tell you what all you need. Since it's obvious you have some type of a passion for video editing, for audio editing, give me a holler. But take self-accountability. Don't be leading people on like this, all right? I know the playbook very well. I've done it myself a few times over the years. I'm retired from that type of stuff now because my girls calm me down dramatically. I'm not a player anymore, okay? I don't do the dirty tactics anymore, you know. But come on, man up. You a grown ass man, man up. Okay, so other than that, hey, I want to, on a more lighthearted note. I love me some Melina Perez. She's going to be making her return to the ring for the first time after, God, I think maybe last year or maybe almost a year and a half ago. She's going to be returning to the ring on Friday, March 23rd for AWE. It's going to be for the Australian Wrestling Entertainment. She is going to be taking on the two-time Divas champion, or I'm sorry, Melina, the former two-time Divas champion. She's going to be taking on a woman by the name of Shazza McKenzie. I followed a little bit of her work. You guys remember about a year and a half ago, Melina had a serious knee injury and she was really shaken up about it. She thought maybe, hey, this is it. My wrestling career as I know it, I think it's over now. I think I'm done. But she's going to be getting back into the ring. So, yeah, she dislocated her knee at an indie match in England. I want to say it was sometime last year, right about this time last year. So it's great that she's going to be coming back. Really happy for her. And we got some Rey Mysterio news. Now, Rey's not commenting right now about how things are coming along with his negotiations with the WWE, but he has signed on as co-owner of the Nashville-based wrestling promotion Aro Lucha. And remember, Conan is head of creative down there. The Tennessean, they had published an article recently making the announcement with Rey Mysterio. He's going to be working as a co-owner and he's going to be a performer for this promotion as well. And apparently there's going to be some plans for crowdfunding in an effort to allow fans to invest a minority stake in the company. I'm actually very interested in this. I think I may actually look into this. I BS you not. There have been, you'd be surprised. I don't broadcast it, but there have been some things that I have felt is a worthy cause in the past that I have contributed a lot of money to when it comes to crowdfunding. So, you know, I need to see how this plays out. But if Rey Mysterio is involved and Conan is involved, you know, I think it's going to do well. But Rey Mysterio, he had this to say, and I quote, "I think what we're doing with Aro Lucha being fan-owned based is revolutionary. We are giving the fans something they have never had before, a voice and a chance to get in on the action." And as it stands right now, Aro Lucha, it had sold out for its debut at the Nashville Fairgrounds in December. They did a pilot episode that was filmed. And then the company, shortly afterwards, they took the promotion on the road, doing non-televised events in the Texas area. And there's no TV deal, nothing in place right now, but they are currently looking at ways that they can go about showing the promotion to folks. I would imagine social media for sure is something that they're going to be considering as well. But as far as talent right now, a lot of familiar faces. You got Ray, You've got MVP, Montel Vontavious Porter. You've got Johnny Mundo, Johnny Impact, right? You got James Storm, Hurricane Shane Helms, Taya Valkyrie, Rebby Hardy. You even got Willie Mack. So I'll keep you guys posted, man. I'm very curious to see how they're going to go about with the different tiers and all that for this. But I love this concept. Is it revolutionary? Yes. Now, could this be quietly a boom? That wrestling boom that maybe Jeff Jarrett was, because I've never heard Jeff Jarrett talk like this before. So for Conan and Rey Mysterio to be embarking on something, this is truly revolutionary, and they are piquing my interest very high. And I'm now kind of at that age where I'm interested in investing stocks, bonds, and certain things. I would definitely implore to you guys, if you got a little bit of money that you can, hey, let me see what happens. Let me put this down. It's a little bit of a risk, but let me see what happens. I'll try this out. You may want to stay tuned to this. I'll let you guys know about some more info as it comes about. All right. And, we were just talking about Taya Valkyrie. I want to just talk about her for a couple of minutes because she recently became a victim of some online ridiculing. And I just felt so bad for the homegirl. It wasn't even funny. So check this out. Let me rewind this back a little bit. So recently she had took to social media, Taya Valkyrie. You guys pretty much know her on the indies, but she's been doing a lot of work with Impact Wrestling. She had went on a little bit of a hiatus due to some personal issues last year. She just prematurely had to take a leave of absence from Impact Wrestling, missed the next batch of tapings, but she said, hey, I'll be back in January. So she recently had fired back at people on social media that called her fat, butterface, and manly after they had saw her segment with Rosemary that aired on, I want to say last week's, pretty much last week's Impact Wrestling. She had said, and I quote, "The comments that I have been reading on the picture posted of me after tonight's airing of Impact are nothing short of disgusting." And it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. So she went on to say, yeah, the fact that grown-ass adults find it in themselves to speak like that about someone is honestly effing pathetic. She would go on to say, calling someone fat, butterface, manly, ugly, and so on and so forth is unacceptable. Take a long look in the mirror next time you feel like commenting. You don't know people's struggles, stories, or lives. Grow the F up. And quite honestly, I've had enough. And she put a longer post out on her Instagram that shows a picture of her much thinner. And I just want to read this to you, and I just want to offer some thoughts here. She said on Instagram, so recently I have seen a lot of comments about me looking different on Impact compared to Lucha. So let's just clear a few things and discuss some others. These first two pictures, and shout out to Epic, make sure you get these pictures. These first two pictures were taken about 2-3 years ago. Yes, I'm freaking tiny. And the other two over the last few weeks. Behind the six-pack and the fake smile was a miserable person. I was in a bad relationship. I had convinced myself that I was pretty enough, fit enough, or good enough. Basically, I was in a huge hole of depression and I was having anxiety attacks regularly. I am not a stress eater. I'm a stress no eater. I was miserable. Pero Algoya, my mentor, passed away. A year later, my sister did. I was not in a good place emotionally, and looking back on it, it was so obvious. I would break down in tears for no reason, and I was a mess. I have always battled self-esteem issues, and behind the most confident person can sometimes be the most insecure human being ever. So fast forward to now. I am now in an amazing place. I'm not only and not only my professional life, but my personal one. I'm happy, successful, learning more every day about who I really am, what I want out of life, and overall very happy. I work out because I love to train. I don't work out because I feel fat or because people tell me to. I do it for me. I squat, I lift, I eat amazing and cook for myself and my little family every day. I realize I am worthy of having my best life. Your weight does not determine your worth, nor do the people that stand around judging you. Be confident and walk strongly in the directions of your dreams. Six packs don't make you a better person, nor do they determine if you will be successful or not. Love yourself, be healthy, and never let others control your self esteem. My butt is back, and so are my legs and my attitude, like it or not. Just do you. Hope sharing this story will inspire someone to accept and see how truly amazing each and every one of us is. There's only one of you, and that you is perfect. So that's what she said. Classy, Taya Valkyrie, nothing but thoughts, nothing but love to you. Seriously, nothing but love to you. I'm really sorry that you had to go through all of that ridicule on social media. Did I notice a change in her weight? Yeah, it happens, man. I mean, the older that you get, certain circumstances, some people get stressed out for different things, whether it's relationship or money, you name it, stuff happens. And I can definitely relate to this, okay? Because I will have you know, man, I'm going on 38, and once in a blue moon, I will get people that will call me all kinds of names. Like I got this one dude that comments on the Epic Sports channel. And the way I operate to everybody is I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. I try to treat people with respect. And longtime listeners know this. Anybody that has seen me comment, I never insult somebody. I never name call. I never call somebody, oh, you look like you ugly. I don't do that because I know my parents, they didn't raise me like that, right? They didn't raise me like that. They taught me to always respect your peers and your elders. Even when you disagree with them on something, you continue to show them that respect because you want that respect back 10 times, 10 times in full, right? You want it returned back. So for me, it still amazes me that we've got people, and like this one guy, he works out. The guy goes to the gym. He's got these big muscles, looks really good, looks to be in really good shape. And every time I turn around, he calls me Kamala, and I'm going, what the fuck? I'm like, I don't look like Kamala. Or what? Because I at one point used to have a bald head, and I got my facial hair. Like what? All bald headed black men look like Kamala. What the fuck is that? Like, damn. And I couldn't help but kind of say to myself, wow, and this dude looks like he's probably in his late 20s, and he's rolling like that. He's name calling like that. It amazes me sometimes that you have individuals like him, like the people that were messing around with Valkyrie, that stoop to these levels, because when it's all said and done, you know that these people do not act this way in person. You know that they do not act and talk this way to their significant others, that they do not act this way to their family and to their friends. But yet, for some weird reason, they find that when they're in front of a keyboard, they can say these type of things. And I have just always been a firm believer that karma has a weird way of coming back on people. If you treat people like shit, somehow it ends up coming back at you 10 times full. Sometimes it's a boomerang. It's going to come back and it's going to be much worse than what you dished out, right? And I've just always believed in that. And I love the fact that she's doing her best to not let all of this, what is without a doubt negative energy, get the best of her. I mean, when it's all said and done, as long as you're happy, you're enjoying life, you're doing you, that's all that really matters. If you got somebody that's not in your circle, that's not coming at you with that positive energy, man, there's not even, I've just gotten to that point now. If somebody is spitting negativity, now I'm just ignoring them. I appreciate anybody that comments on my show and comments on certain things that I say on my show. I appreciate that. You give me a person that's being respectful and they're not saying stupid idiot and all this other silly crap. And I will show you a person that will go out of their way and, hey, yeah, that's a very good point. Hey, thanks for commenting. All right, I'll take that into consideration. Thanks for that. But I don't get it. The flip side to this, we got this up and coming generation, not everybody, but we've got these generation me, and it's all about me, the entitled me, right? The pricks basically don't know how to say thank you, please, none of that. They don't know how to talk like that. It's just gimme now. And then you follow that up with you got some of these people that honestly feel that it's okay to be a big bad keyboard warrior. And I tell you, the way our society is just continuing to advance, we're just getting to that point now where with the rise of people killing themselves because of hate messages and all of that they get on social media, where they're being harassed by people because of their looks, color of their skin, sexual orientation. I'm telling you, give it about maybe 10 to 15 more years, and we're going to get to that point where our education system is going to get a really huge shakeup. If it's not happening in schools nationwide in North America already, I think we're going to get definitely to that point where there's going to be mandatory classes that are going to teach young folks. And it needs to start early. That's the key. It needs to start as early as elementary and pretty much continue on going through high school. The importance of why you should not be doing cyberbullying of any type of fashion, why you shouldn't be trolling, why you shouldn't be harping on somebody's looks, and just putting that whole negativity vibe out there, because at the end of the day, yeah, you really don't know what's going on with that person. Now, you got some people, they just do it just because they want to get a rise. Some people just get off, and I realize that some people just get off because, hey, I was able to get this person worked out. And sadly, you're not going to be able to flush every single one of them out. But what you definitely can do is block them out. Okay, I don't like that. That's what makes social media so cool in today's day and age. If you come across something you don't like, mute, block, move it along. You never have to see them again. You can report them, you can do all kinds of cool stuff, and you never have to see them again. But it's really sad that she's going through this crap, and when really it should just be about, oh, hey, all right, you're back. That's great. Glad you're back. Yeah, awesome. I mean, not for nothing. She's still relatively young. She's 34 years of age. And, honestly, for people that creep into their 30s, that's when the weight really starts to fluctuate for a lot of folks. Once you're in your 30s, it doesn't matter if you're a man, doesn't matter if you're a female, your weight starts to fluctuate by the time you're in your mid to late 30s. Now more than ever, you want to look a certain way, you got to work out twice as hard. That's just a matter of life. It's a matter of fact. See, other than that, anything else I want to get into on tonight's show? I think we did pretty good, honestly. Only other thing I want to bring up. See, do I want to even go into that? No, that's kind of irrelevant. I think we did pretty good tonight. We went a little bit all over the place, pretty much. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna stick a fork in it. Call this DONE done. Now, I do want to give you guys a heads up. Let me take a look in the chat here. Hang on a second here. One more time. I gotta pop up in the chat, see what's going on here. I'm looking at some of the stuff that's being said in the Spreaker chat here. So bear with me a second here, guys. Bear with me a second. If I'm a little bit silent, I'm just trying to read here. Okay, Jim Ross is trying to get a Mildred Burke documentary or movie made. Do you think WWE should take more of a responsibility in educating fans, especially female fans, about women in history? Well, since WWE recently did the Empower 24/7 special, which I heard, honestly, something I was gonna watch it, but I had asked Mish, and shout out to Mish. I say, hey man, is this something I should be checking out or should I pass? And he said, nah, it was just a recap of everything that's happened so far. You can pass. It's like, okay, all right, cool. But yes, I think since the male demographic has increased tremendously with females, in particular for WWE these past couple of years, especially when they come around or working with the Susan G. Komen Foundation. You've also got Stephanie McMahon going to those women expos, business expos for female leaders and everything. Yeah, why not use this as a good opportunity to do a nice WWE positive spin? Yes, I agree with that. I think that would be a really good idea. It can go so much more beyond than just, oh, it's March, it's Women's History Month and all that other stuff, quite honestly. All right, let's see what else we got here. And I'm looking in YouTube real quick here. Shout out to you guys in YouTube chat here. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Yeah, 2002 was Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. Thank you for that. 2003 was the second Elimination Chamber. Let's see, Gino, I kind of still want Bryan to leave when his contract expires and wrestle for ROH and the Indies. I think honestly, like I said earlier, the only way that he's going to continue to stay in the WWE, get that decent part-time schedule, and that money, make that money right. Let's see. People jumping the gun by trashing the match. I personally enjoyed the match. Which match? Oh, talking about Ultimate Deletion. I'm with you now. I'm with you now. Yeah, Jeff Hardy. You almost blinked and you would have missed it. That cameo that he did. Can't wait for him to come back. Oh. And for those of you that are asking, how can you vote? For those of you that didn't vote in the Ultimate Deletion, if you're watching on YouTube, go over to the RCWR show main page, click on the communities tab, and you can vote that way. Yeah, Seymour, I have a feeling that WWE and Jesse the Body Ventura, Mark Wahlberg, hell, maybe even Roman Reigns, lawyer through WWE. I have a feeling that at this point, once they know everything has been completely exhausted with this Jon Bravo and this Rodriguez dude, they're going to be coming for those asses big time. Let's see. And I agree. Bravo desperate for attention. I agree with that 100%. Hey, so I want to kindly remind you guys that this Wednesday, March 21st, there's going to be a special edition of the RCWR show. I'm going to be talking with the star of the CW hit series, Black Lightning himself, Mr. Cress Williams. That's going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to that. That will be available exclusively for the downloads on all the platforms. Okay, all the platforms. It's going to be available as of, the goal is 6 p.m. I'm supposed to be chatting with him for about 30, maybe 45 minutes. So as soon as I get done chatting with him, I'm going to remix it, do what I do best, and it'll be available on all the listening platforms for downloads, 6 p.m. Eastern. So do make sure you represent, show that some love. I'll probably be uploading it on YouTube at a much later date, but for now, I'm just going to let the downloads on demand plays kick in for it. So I'm looking forward to that. Should be a really fun conversation. Make sure you're following me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at the RCWR show. Stay connected. Love staying connected with you guys. And let's see, for those of you that's going to be waiting for this on the downloads, give me about, I would say, 20 minutes, and I should have this ready to go. And for you guys here, I want to just say thank you guys for tuning in. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure, if you're listening on YouTube, watching on YouTube, click the like. Make sure you click on the bell so you get those notifications for new uploads. All right, guys? Because I don't want you guys missing out. At this point, we are about less than 600 away on YouTube. We're about less than 600 away from getting 1,200,000 subscribers. So let's see if we can make that be our goal. All right. So, you two, appreciate the love as always.